One of the best parts about growing your business online, especially, is being able to connect with people from all over the world. But that is the beauty of social media. You can literally tap into people from all over. You don't necessarily have to walk up to people and tell them what you do in order to get somebody into your world. And I'm going to explain exactly how you do that. We're talking about the four-step process to attract paying customers, all right? Because although we are here, we thrive on social media, we have a business, honey. We have a business because we want to do certain things. We want to live the lifestyle that we desire to live, and we want to do it with ease. If you follow Brand with Whitney, then you already know my name is Whitney. I'm a mom, first and foremost. I own a business. I'm very much a free spirit person. I'm one of those people that will move anywhere just because she wants to, will do random things, don't really feel like, blending into the system or what society feels like I need to be doing. And I love branding and visuals and strategy. I was a brand photographer, but now brand strategist and expert. And I'm always excited about learning and leveling up my life. Okay. When I do things and when I make moves, when I actively work on whatever area of life I'm trying to work on, is so I can level up my life. Like, I very much believe in living the life that you desire to live before you retire. So not waiting until you've worked somewhere for 30 years, whatever the case may be, and then you get to travel and do things that you want to do and be on your own time. Like, no, it's time to do that now. We activate that now. And with social media, it is 1000% possible. Now, stay to the end, because at the end, after we do the 4 steps to actually attracting people, I'm going to share with you one of the biggest mistakes a lot of business owners make, and the reason why you seem to be attracting customers that never either have the budget for what you offer, or they never really take action. Like, they say that they're going to do something, but they don't do it. Or when you do hire them as clients or customers, they don't come with you with 1,000 questions or want their money back or anything like that. Like, I don't attract people like that. Like, they steer clear from me if you don't believe in yourself enough to act on whatever it is that you say you want to act on. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that through your content and your messaging and marketing, so you don't have to worry about things like that. Now, the 4 steps to this process is building brand awareness, creating content that builds trust, creating content that provides a solution. So you have to create content that for people that are actively looking for a solution. You can't be telling somebody that their life is, terrible, or they need to fix something, and they're not even looking to fix it. Like, you want to talk to the people that are actively looking for something. And this is what's going to be so important when it comes to building your content funnel. And the purpose of it really is so you have content for each of these stages, which is called the funnel. So you don't necessarily need fancy websites. You don't need crazy ass like email systems and all types of things. Now, I want you to know you are in the right place if you always feel pressure to create more content for social media. Now, I know social media is that everything is content place. I am definitely pro post consistently, get in front of your customers every single day, things like that. But I do not pressure people into making content. I do not feel pressure to make content because of social media or what trends or, what's happening, what somebody else said, what somebody else is doing. Like, that does not fuel me pulling out my phone to create content or jumping in front of the camera. Okay. You don't have to do everything that everybody else is doing to make things happen in your world. And if you also feel like you have no idea how to create a content strategy, which means you create content that attracts customers that are ready for the things that you offer, your services, or if you feel like you're winging it. And this could look like saving 1,000 ideas. So if you got folders with 1,000 ideas, you didn't copy and paste 1,000 ideas, you got screenshots of all this stuff that you're going to do, but you really haven't done it. Or you feel like you're comparing yourself to other people that are in your industry. First and foremost, we're going to stop doing that. Like, you are special in your own ways. You are going to attract customers that need what you do, that love you and how you do it when you start to show up as yourself. So when you compare your page to other industry experts, it's almost a disservice, because y'all are 2 different people. Y'all have 2 completely different set of experiences. You have an angle that you look at things that works, and you can help other people figure that out, or you can help other people see that too. And if you're comparing yourself to what somebody else is doing, you're trying to speak from their angle, and you don't even know how it works, which is why you kind of start to feel like, most people call it imposter syndrome. You start to feel that because you're trying to do what everybody else is doing, or you feel like you need to do what everybody else is doing. And that's We're not doing that. Moving forward, we're not doing that. We're going to create our own lane on the internet that has people coming into our world. Now, you're in the right place, okay, if you want more time freedom and you want to take random trips without thinking twice. Okay, and I say random because I'm that person. Like I said, I'm a free spirit. I don't book round trip tickets no more because I never know when I want to come back. I really don't have to plan things for real, as far as vacations and like time away. Like if I feel the need that I need to reset, then I'm gonna do it. It's not something that I gotta orchestrate. I don't gotta ask nobody permission. I don't have to. The biggest thing is finding somebody to watch my child in the event that he's not coming with me. You're also in the right place if you want to check your phone for a second right before you put on Do Not Disturb, because my phone lives on Do Not Disturb. So if you want to check your phone and see that you have people asking you how to book stuff, or you got new purchases, or you look at your analytics and you're like, damn, like I made $2,000 today, or whatever the case may be, and you haven't done anything. Maybe you posted something that was scheduled automatically to go out at like 7 in the morning and now it's 4, and you're about to wind down for the day, and you look at your phone and you're like, oh, I made XYZ amount. I made $1,000 today. And just to put it in perspective, making $1,000 a day is $365,000 a year. So if you want the ability to invest back into yourself, I mentioned, like, I love leveling up. I love learning. I love putting myself in atmospheres where people know more than me, that I can soak it up and then apply it to my life. And one of the best things about growing my business is the fact that it gives me the ability to invest back into myself, to learn more. Because at the end of the day, this is just one business. I want multiple businesses. I want to be like a, what do they call it? Conglomerate, where I just have my hands in so many different things. Like, this is the first stage. And I don't want to make $1 billion from this business right here, but I have things in my mind. I have ideas. I have things that I want to make happen. I just need either more capital, I need more resources, I need more connections, I just need more things. And this business allows me to invest back into myself to get those things. So I want to know in the comment section, do you have big ideas? Like, do you have big ideas that kind of other people really don't grasp the gravity of the situation when you try to tell them? Or you have ideas where you know that it's going to take a little bit more than what you're doing right now, so you got to do something in order to get there. So this is why we got to have the content funnel, because we need to build revenue within this business so we can either get this business to a certain place that we see it, or we can have the capital and all the tools to invest in our next business. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean like you have to get another business. Like, maybe you want to buy property, or you want to, I don't know, invest in art or the stock market or whatever the case may be. Like, it's thousands of ways to make money. So I'm excited that you are here. I hope you got a pen. You already know the information is about to be gold. Make sure you grab a pen, grab your journal, grab something, put a little notepad on the side section so you're able to tap into what's about to go down. In order for me to make this happen, I had to take my business dead ass seriously, okay? Dead ass. And when I mean I had to take it seriously, I grew to over 50,000 people on Instagram in a year, and then like 11,000 on TikTok, but I wasn't taking TikTok seriously, which is why I didn't really grow as much, but it still like pulled up some traction, and over 20,000 monthly views on Pinterest. So if we just do the math, that's what, 81,000 people, 80,000 people interacting with my business on a monthly basis. If 80,000 people knew that your business existed and they needed what you had to offer, do you feel like you would make more sales? Now, in order for this to take place, I dismiss and dissolve the idea of feeling motivated. For anybody that has kids, you already know we have to do things without motivation. We just got to do things because that's the responsibility. And when I thought about my business, I was like, damn, this is my responsibility. The only way my baby is going to eat is if my business thrives. The only way I'm not going to have to put him in daycare, and I did all of this when he was like an infant. So he was like 2-3 months. And I was like, I'm not going to nobody's job. I'm not putting him in daycare. I had Cairo in 2020. So it was like the COVID era. So you already know, like, don't come around my baby. We're not going, and being in everybody's face. So I couldn't grasp the idea of daycare at the time. There was no more I need to be motivated. Okay. I had to make the decision that it was time to show up. And since I had a kid and he was so young, I couldn't like just stick him off with somebody or do anything like that. Like I had to show up as myself. I had to show up as myself. I told my customers and my audience, like, hey, Cairo is here. Cairo is gonna be thriving in the background, and y'all just gonna have to roll with it as I give y'all this good information, because it's not gonna change the information that I gotta give you. And so many of my clients now, like they damn near know, like Cairo got so many internet aunties, it don't make sense. A lot of people feel like social media is hard or they don't know what to say because they're trying to talk like somebody else. I call it code switching for the internet. Once I decided like I didn't need motivation, it was just a muscle, a routine that I had to build up, and I started showing up as myself. I literally made my 100K, and I was mostly at the house at the time, online within a year. It didn't take a long time. Like it didn't take a long time. I had this desire to make money without having to physically do something every single time. So in your business right now, do you feel like you physically have to do something in order to make money? Like that's for the birds. You shouldn't have to physically be doing anything in order to make money. I knew that I wanted to be on social media, but I just wasn't sure exactly how I was going to show up. And I thought, hey, if I just talk about my business, then I'll get people to shop with me. I'll get people to buy stuff if I just talk about my business. That was not the case. Okay? Just talking about your business is not going to make the cut. If I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, it's not going to make the cut. I was literally just posting stuff just to post it and throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping that something would stick. Like, oh, I'm just going to post this. I also knew that I wanted more freedom to travel. Okay. Back in the day, I used to work for Delta. Your girl used to get free flights, go places. And that was like my first introduction, aside from a family cruise. That was like my first introduction to how beautiful the world is. And I was like, oh, I have to do this more often. How many times would you like to travel that's not work related? I don't want to have to work like physically with people in order to make money. Like, what do I do? And I was like, you know what, Whitney, you already are in this space where you're helping everybody else build their business online. Like I was helping people create content for them. I shifted from not feeling like I want to be on social media, because when you post, and we're going to talk about this later, when you don't feel like doing something and then you try to show up and you think people are going to spend money with you because you created something that talked about whatever topic that you wanted to talk about, but they could tell like you weren't confident, or you really wasn't feeling it that day, or maybe you just really not into social media. Like you're one of those people that post just to say you posted consistently, or you have content up, but in real life you really don't want to be here. So I was that person, and I had to switch it all. And I was tired because I had a newborn. Okay. I decided that life was not meant for me. It just wasn't. It wasn't meant for me. And when I did this, I went from barely making like $1,000 to $2,000 a month to making $10,000 in my first 33 days off social media. I remember it was around this time, actually, moving into like the new year. And I made the decision. I'm like, I'm going to take social media seriously. I'm going to show up. I'm going to really apply all this stuff that I teach everybody else. Like I talk to my clients about, I'm going to apply it to my own stuff. And I made $10,000 in 33 days. And I had less than 3,000 people following me at the time. And then after that month, I had like 7,000, and then 15,000, and then 20,000, and then so forth and so forth and so forth. You have to know the right content to post in order to make them see like, hey, this is something that I can, access to get whatever it is that you deliver, or your promise, your transformation, all of that. And not only do you have to post the right content, you have to build a community, okay? You got to build a community that talks to you. I have people that be jumping in my DMs. I got people that be asking me about my son. I have people that buy every single thing. Literally, some of them are in here now. Like they buy classes over and over. They come to lives all the time. They come to trainings. Like you have to build a community. And that only happens when you infuse your personality with your purpose. I got so much content in my phone, I could probably go missing for a year if I wanted to. I don't have to worry if like the right customers are going to come in my world. I think I officially started talking about this training like maybe on Monday, maybe. And I think over 100 people signed up, and I didn't go live about it because I was traveling. So with me, 9 to 5 life, I don't like sit here and be like, oh, if I don't make no money, I'm gonna have to go back to 9 to 5 life. So we about to learn the 4 steps to the content funnel framework. Okay, 4 steps to the content funnel framework. Okay, so first step, brand awareness content. All right, brand awareness content. If people do not know you exist, they can't buy from you. You need to think about visibility. Okay, the only goal of this content is visibility. These are go-to pieces of content that you post that you know is going to get more new eyes on your stuff, not the same old eyes. These are new eyes. It doesn't matter what platform you use, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever the case may be. Your visibility is the goal for this content. Now, with brand awareness content, to make sure that it hits home and it's actually bringing people into the funnel, you have to make sure that it aligns with your brand, so you know that you're bringing more of the right people. Because there's no point to get in front of 100,000 new people. Like, let's say your reel goes viral or your post goes viral, and you get 100,000 people look at it. Or if viral for you is 10,000 people look at it. But out of those 10,000 people, 100,000 people, if only 3 people be like, oh, let me follow her, it ain't work. It don't work. That's not your brand. That's not your brand awareness content. Your brand awareness content should grow your visibility and attract the right people to stay in your world. And the way that you do that is infusing your brand elements into it. If your door is always open, money can always come into it. At the top of your funnel, your brand awareness content, it should have your brand values infused in it. It should have what you're like as a person, the energy that you want your brand to represent. All these things should be infused into this content. So for me, like I say this all the time, it feels like my brand is on vacation. Everything I post, everything I create, every color that I show up in, literally, I want the energy of vacation. And it's another reason why I always talk about vacations in all of my stuff. Like, look at the background of the slide. It looks like some tropical something. So when I think about what I want people to think about when they see my brand, when they touch my brand, when they interact with it, anything like that, I want them to feel like they are on vacation. This energy, like this good vibe energy. When you create content like this, it's like the floodgates being open. Like, your vibe is why people will remember your brand. So first step, brand awareness content. Now, most people when they're doing this, they're just pulling out their phone and just grabbing content randomly. They're like, oh, they heard this thing, everything is content, everything is content. So they pulling out their phone at their restaurant and at the kids event and at the grocery store and at the furniture store and on the highway and all these things. But if it doesn't make sense for your brand, baby, we're not posting it. It needs to make sense, okay? And there's different aspects of inserting your personality and inserting your business and all types of things. Like, there's different things that can still resonate with your brand. But if you are posting content that looks like it's from 3 different people, nobody's going to remember you. Nobody's going to remember you, and it's not going to force the people that want to be in your world, that need the thing that you have to offer. It's not going to like make them take any action. And then you're going to trick the algorithm, okay? You're going to trick the algorithm because the algorithm pushes you in front of more people based on the people that are interacting with you or follow you. So if you have people that's not going to spend money with you or doesn't value what you do, and you're attracting those people and they're liking stuff and saving stuff and, following you and all the things, but they're not the people that's going to actually spend money, you're not here to entertain folks. As a business, your platform is not to entertain people. Your platform is here to help people transform or receive something that they are actively looking for. So I just want you to know the brand awareness step, it applies to all platforms. It applies to all industries. And it's one of the most important parts of the puzzle, because if the door's not open, nobody can come into it. And the people ain't climbing through the window trying to get to your brand. Okay, step 2, your trust building content. Once you have people into your world, so they're here, they like what they see, they probably been some of your content a little bit, they enjoy how you speak and what you talk about and like what you look like, because that's important too. Like, they like all these things. Now it's time to build trust with them. When was the last time you gave your money to somebody that you did not trust? Probably never. Like, and even the company. Like, even if you go to Walmart, and Walmart is not my favorite place to shop, but even if you go to Walmart, you know, you buy something, you're gonna get your money back. You trust them enough to either give you what you paid for or get your money back. So you need content that resonates with your future customers, okay? Conversations lead to conversions. If you haven't, if you've never heard that, you probably haven't been around me that long, but conversations lead to conversions, okay? And people that have impactful and meaningful conversations with you are the people that are going to purchase whatever you have to offer. It could be you posting a story, like posting about your brand stories, which I talk to my clients all about, and you sharing your experiences and some of the things that you have been through, or how you look at things in order for them to build trust. You sharing your perspective. So I want to know, have you shared why you're in your industry? Have you shared any experiences that you have been through? Have you shared what led you to creating the brand? You got to build trust with your people. You have to tell your story. You have to share some of your experiences. You have to share a perspective in a way that feels like they know you. Okay. Now, I teach my clients how to break down their story so it's impactful. So it touches like that gut feeling, like when you see something and you read it and you're just like, damn, I know exactly what she mean. I know exactly what she been through. I know, like, I'm going through this right now, or I remember feeling this way. Like, you need your customers to be saying that in their head. Like, oh my gosh, this is my life. If you are sharing endless tips, hacks, you know the thing where it's 5 seconds and it says read the caption, and the caption is like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Like, it's cute, it's okay. There's a place and there's a time, but that is not the content that's going to actually get you customers that are going to pay for your services. That's the trendy content that might get you in front of new people. So maybe that content needs to be pushed up to your brand awareness content if it makes sense for your brand. But in order to have people whipping out their card asking you, hey, how do I pay? Where's the link? Is this still available? Can I get this? Are you still doing this? Like, people be jumping in my comments like that, in my DMs asking, when are you coming back here? Like, when I travel for photography, and I've been to DC, I've been to New York, I've been to LA, I always go back to Atlanta, I go to Florida. Like, I'm attracting people from all over the world. People flying in from Kenya, like literally all over the world. And it's because they trust the thing that I deliver because I have been through something. Okay. So without trust building content, you might get likes and saves, like I said, but nobody's going to take the step forward. Without the trust building content, you will always feel like the algorithm is working against you because you're not reaping the benefits of social media. And the whole point of social media is so you can be social, so you can grow your business. So if you're just being social, you're just online, you're just entertaining people or liking stuff here and there, or you see that, oh my gosh, so and so is always, always sharing something, or they always reacting to my stories, but they're never buying anything, that means social media has not been successful. And the way that you shift that is to start posting content that builds trust with your audience. That way they're actually converting into customers. Drop in the comment section if the last time you spent money with somebody that you met on social media, it was because you trusted whatever it is that they have to offer. Now, when you are building trust with people, you won't be confused what to say. You won't be confused what to say. You won't be confused or out of ideas to post content because you already know. That's part of the beauty of building your brand. Like, you have something to look at and you're like, oh, this is what I want to talk about. This is what I want to be known for. This is how I want to make my customers feel. These are the experiences that I'm going to highlight. These are the topics that will connect with my customer the most. Like, having all this organized so you can just go back to it will completely eliminate the, oh, what am I going to post about today? Or I have this content calendar that I found or that I downloaded. I literally have one of my own that I sell. But the content calendars and the content ideas are simply ideas. They're ideas. But if you have nothing to bridge the gap between your customer and you, it's gonna fall through. Like, it's not going to, you're not gonna be able to reap the benefits that you really want to reap. And like I said, okay, if you want If you want time freedom, if you want financial freedom, if you want location freedom, because that's I think the most. Location freedom and time freedom are like my big ones. Financial freedom is a given. It's a given. Like if I got time freedom and location freedom, I definitely got money. It's like you can't have these two without this one. Okay, y'all ready for step 3? So you need solution based content, okay? Solution based content. So in the comment section, I want you to drop what is the solution to the problem that your customers have. So for mine, for example, people that struggle with social media, their solution is building and defining and organizing their brand. That's my solution. When you struggle with social media, it's just because you don't got your brand together. What is your solution to your customer's problem? We're gonna talk about how the content makes sense for the solution. So when we think about how we're gonna build a brand awareness and how we're gonna build trust, now it's time to create content that embodies the solution that you have to offer. Okay, so if you want people to stop asking you 1,000 questions and just pull the trigger on stuff, you got to post more solution-based content. So with the solution-based content, this is the content that shows your perspective. And you need to have an opinion on what you do. You have to have an opinion on what you do. So I have a brand and content business, okay? I got brand visuals on one side, brand strategy on another side. My opinion is if you do not invest your time and energy into your content and showing up on social media, you will forever be in a rat race. It's one of the easiest ways to 10x your revenue. And there's so much proof it's so much proof out here. Like it's 3 billion people using the internet. Is no reason why you shouldn't be living life on your terms in 2023, going into 2024 and beyond. That is my opinion, and I stand 10 toes down. Okay, anybody can come and argue with me about the importance of social media, and I'm gonna argue them down because I know, like, I'm literally living and breathing, and this is what has happened. So when it comes to your business that you have, what is your opinion, and are you standing on your opinion? Okay, do you stand on the solution that you provide? Because you can't tiptoe around it. You can't tiptoe around it. You got to make it happen. And when people see me talking about social media, they hear my wild ass little boy going crazy in the background, but they see me go from living in the hood to moving to a different state to living in a high rise, and they see this happening. They see me traveling. They see me like always showing up in a certain way. They're like, damn, she might have something here. I might need to start paying attention a little bit more. So when it comes to showcasing your perspective and providing the solution, you have to have an opinion about it. So when you have an opinion on what you're doing, it places you as an authority because people know not to play with you. Like, don't come over here talking about my little business this and my little business that. Like, no. My business out here making my life different, my family's life different. I'm impacting people from thousands of miles away from me. I got people flying in. Like, I've had somebody fly in from DC, Atlanta, of course, from Florida, from Kenya, from New Orleans. Like, I've gone to so many different places because of my business and because of showing up on social media. I would have never met the person that's literally on her way here from New Orleans. She probably here already because it's 11. But I wouldn't have met her if it wasn't for social media. I wouldn't have met my clients that I have in LA that ask me, okay, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? If it wasn't for social media. I wouldn't be able to take a 2-week trip to DC or New York. And y'all know it's hot as hell to stay in hotels in New York and DC if it wasn't for my business and showing up on social media. This is just the surface level. So you need content that places you as an authority. What can you share that places you as an authority? How do I know that you mean what you say? How do I know that you're passionate about this thing? Why don't I know your opinion on what you do? When you highlight your background, you highlight your experiences. This is what makes people believe in a solution. But if you find out like you're scared to be on social media, like, oh, I don't want to go live, I don't want to jump on stories, I don't really want to show my face, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that, like, people don't believe the solution that you're telling people that you got for them. If you're feeling like you're constantly comparing yourself to what other people are doing, or you're constantly feeling like this scarcity around what are people going to say, That means you don't believe in your solution. I want to buy from people that are like hype about what they do. I want to feel excited about purchasing something from you. I don't want to feel like scared and timid and shy and like, no. If I'm about to give you my money, I'm trying to like, where's the link at? Okay. Where's the link? I don't even got time to talk. I'm one of those people. I don't need to look through no long sales page. I don't need to do like long ass sales calls and no. Where is the link at so I can buy what I need? Because I see you. I see it. I see you embodying this thing. And that comes from, like I said, having an opinion, sharing your experiences and your background, okay? And showing up confidently. Okay, you got to be confident. I'm gonna break down confidence just a little bit more in just a second. So no more just like being scared to show up on social media. No more comparing yourself to other people. No more imposter syndrome. No more second guessing yourself. Like you really gotta be your biggest advocate. I am not reading through a ClickFunnels page. Put the price at the top and let me purchase it. Those are the people that you want to attract. Those are the people that you want to attract. You want to attract people that are ready to get the transformation, get the result. I was about to say get money, but everybody's not in the business of helping other people get money. But even if you're helping people be confident, you're helping people feel empowered, that's going to affect other parts of their lives. And I talk to my clients, like within the brand clarity blueprint, we go over how to position your product or service as a solution that's going to impact their life versus just get them one thing. So I want you to know, like, I wasn't getting results like this whenever I was scared to talk about what I needed to talk about. I wasn't getting results like this when I was actually posting here and there or just posting content that I thought other people would like. If you've been in my stories or you've been around, y'all know I don't really follow a bunch of trends. Like, I'm not the trendy girl, okay? I'm not the trendy one. I'm the one that's gonna post Cameo, okay? We two-step to Cameo. We're not doing these fancy TikTok tricks and stuff. It's just not where it's at. That's not me or my personality. If that's you, hey, knock yourself out. But over here, we wake up to, like I said, the blues. We listen to Loud Crew and Mary J. Blige, and it's a whole playlist on my stories or in my content. Most of the time, you can literally binge my content, and it would feel like you probably about to clean up or probably about to entertain somebody, or you might just want to feel good. And that's all done purposely. Like, it's me, it's my personality, it's what you would experience if you were in my world, in my house, at any function that I have, anything like that. But it's also the experience that I want my clients to have. It's what I want my clients to remember. And the only way that you get stuff like this, where people are talking about like, oh my gosh, you helped me. Oh my gosh, I love my photo shoot. Oh my gosh, you're so amazing. Like, oh my gosh, I watched your webinar and it was great. I watched your class and it was great. I'm signing up. I'm in the community. Like, the only way that you get stuff like this is when you show up in a certain way for your brand that aligns with the mission. And the mission with social media is to build your business and make money. You can't do that, or it's going to be really hard to do that if you are second guessing what to post. Ooh, I feel like I'm having a moment. You can't be second guessing what you post then. If you want to make money, you have to post your brand awareness content. Okay. You got to post your trust content because that's the only way. And these are not like little captions. Like, these are little paragraphs that people are writing back. They're invested. Like, if I write more than like 4 words under somebody's something, that means I've been paying attention. My question to you is, are you ready to become the industry leader? Are you ready to stand out in your industry? Are you ready to not be compared to anybody else? Okay. Because that's the goal. I don't want anybody looking at my page and be like, oh, she reminds me of so-and-so. Nope, I don't. I am my own person. I have my own method. I have my own energy. I have my own crazy stuff going on in the background. And not to mention, y'all, for my clients that hire me to work with me long term, or they might hire me for like a call, I tell them like, hey, Cairo is in the background. Hey, this is happening. And they're like, oh, you're fine. I don't get clients that be breathing down my throat all crazy. Like, I don't get clients that be stressing me out or doing the most. Like, no, that's not the energy that I attract. So my question, like, in order to get payment confirmations all throughout the day, you have to have a social media presence and content strategy that works for you. You have to have content in place that's just going off to do its thing. Like there's certain content that you post that you know is going to get in front of people for a week straight. There's content that you're going to post that you know that people only need to see it within 24 hours to make a decision. There's content that you post that you know that people are going to come back to so they can dive deeper. And when you think about like really investing back into yourself, investing into your business, having more peace, okay? Because location, like when you can shift your mind and like you can shift to this space where I'm going to purposely put myself in a location that provides peace. And I'm not sure where you've been or what you've been through, but I've definitely lived in a place where it was not peaceful. Like it was so chaotic, it was stuff going around, and I just wanted to be in a different space so bad. I didn't get to another space until I started building my business. I didn't get to a new space until I started hitting consistent $10,000 months. Okay. And now when I think about $10,000, like I used to think that was so big, like, oh my gosh, $10,000. And then you get into these spaces in these environments where people are doing more and it pushes you to do more. Now I keep seeing people making $100,000 in a month. Like, what? And when you come from a family of workhorses, and no shade to my family, they're definitely the two jobs, the 30 years plus soldiers. They're definitely the 401k veterans. Like, that's the type of family that I come from. They're not used to these conversations about like making a lot of money, and of course not making a lot of money online. Like they still just posting about the cookout and like family stuff, which is cool. You know, they customers too. But at the end of the day, we're here to build a business, okay? We're here to build a business. So let's jump into number 4. Every business owner deserves to have multiple payment notifications going throughout the day. Every business owner deserves revenue and to have more time to do things that they love, like travel, invest back into their business, and have peace. Every business owner deserves customers that are going to purchase stuff over and over and over and over. And I promise you, the people that are in my world, when they purchase something that's really high, they've already purchased some things that were low. Or when they start off really high, they go back and purchase the low things too. Like they're always purchasing stuff. If I pull up with something new, I already know like the people that are already gonna be in the world. Like I don't gotta convince them to do anything. Because they've seen my content, I build trust with them. I build a relationship within a community with them. I'm consistent, so they know that they're going to be able to contact me. Like there are some people on social media that be asking for stuff and they want customers, but they only post like once a week or twice a week or like a couple times a month. Like for the service providers, that's not okay. That's not okay. But we're not gonna dive too deep into it. You have to become the vision that you promise. Outside of just posting testimonials and posting the ins and outs of your thing that you have to become the vision. You have to inspire people in a sense, okay? Which includes like being happy about what you're talking about. When you show up on social media, you should be happy. You should be happy. Don't nobody want to buy nothing from nobody that's sad and depressed. And for all the people that are like empowerment coaches, life coaches, you take people through major transformations. Of course, you have to touch on the thing that they're going through, but you don't leave them there. You don't leave them down and out. Okay, you always got to bring them back on a high level. So when you are becoming the vision, you know people want to be where you are. They're following you. They've interacted with you. They trust you. They believe what you're going to say. That's when you hit them with call to actions and stuff. Like your presence is literally going to sell them into whatever it is that you deliver. They should be able to see themselves within you. Like for some reason my mind is gravitating towards Oprah. I don't necessarily want to be like Oprah, but when Oprah was out there giving people cars and having her Christmas specials and stuff like that, or like people just wanted to be on the Oprah show because they wanted to be around her. They believed in what she did. Even though she was talking about people's traumas with them, she was sharing her experience. She told you that she used to be poor and all these different things happened to her. Now she's a billionaire, literally with a big B. She has these foundations and all these things, and like it's almost like you give people hope. She's giving people hope, like you can go from anywhere and be exactly where you want to be. If you believe in yourself, if you continue to do the work, if you connect yourself with the right people. All of that is popping off on social media. It's like you want to be this visionary for people. You want people to be happy. You want people to be confident. And if you feel like you're confused and what to post, you got to redefine some things. You got to work on some things. So when you think about how you show up right now and how you know you need to show up for social media in order to convert people to customers, like how you need to embody the person that has the result, what do you feel like you need to do? How do you feel like you need to start showing up on social media in order to convert people that's looking at you, that's already been through all the steps? They already know your brand exists. They already show up. I mean, they already see you as the expert. They understand your experiences. What do you think that they need to see in order to convert to an actual customer from you? What do they need to see from you? I want you to stop feeling confused about what to post online. Okay. It's time to stop feeling confused. You know, you need brand awareness content. You know, you need trust building content. Okay. Now, if all this is feeling overwhelming, it's okay. We got to fix for it. If you are like, dang, I need all this stuff, but how in the world do I do it? It's okay. We got to fix for it. I just want to tell you, when you post content for each of these levels, regardless of what you have to offer, there will be somebody ready to purchase something depending on where they are in the journey. So the key is to factor all this stuff in and post content weekly about these things. Weekly. Okay. That way you always know your content is working for you. When you go back and look at your numbers from last month, or your monthly numbers when you're doing your accounting or whatever the case may be, you're like, oh yeah, I know that I'm going to hit this because I have people coming in this amount of days. Like out of the 30 days in a month, I have my brand awareness going out like seven to 10 times. I always know that my doors are open. There are people coming within my world. I have my trust content going out 10 times. I have my problem awareness content going out once a week, like at least minimum. They're going to know that there's a problem that they have and I got the solution to it at least once a week. Like, this is how you create the funnel. This is how you know people will always be coming into your world. Okay, when you think about creating content and coming up with captions and ideas and like things to say, stuff to write in your email, stuff to post on your website and your link in bio, that's a big one. It's gonna come to you easier when you have things organized in a way so you just gotta look back and be like, oh, that's what I gotta do. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, this is what's going to hit home for my audience. And if you get to the moment where you like, okay, I'm ready to take this to another platform, I want to increase my revenue by 2 times or 3 times or 5 times or whatever, it's the same thing that's going to be infused in all the other platforms. So this is the bonus. This is the bonus. When you think about 90%, when you think about 90% of businesses on social media that are not making the money that they want to, is because they're doing things the wrong way. 90% of businesses are doing marketing wrong because they're going from pain. Now, it's one thing to let people know that you're aware of their pain, but the goal is to attract people that are ready to say yes. Okay? Attract people that are not trying to stay in the same spot that they are currently in. Attract people that want the solution, that's ready to take the result. That's at that stage where they're like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done fighting this thing with myself. I'm done looking this way. I'm done sitting on ideas and waiting for things to pop. I'm done feeling like I can't never go nowhere. Like, in order to attract people and make more money, you have to do it from a place of desire. You got to do it from a place of desire. And when I talk to my clients, what we really do is position your solution as a desire to their lifestyle. So it's like, yes, you have this thing. Like I said, yes, I have branding. I can help you with your branding. I can help you with your social media strategy. If you're stuck at social media, the reason is because your brand is not together. But when you think about what that impacts in your life, it's like, oh no, you're going to get more time freedom. You're going to get more opportunities in life. You're going to be able to grow your business. You're going to be able to travel when you want to. You're going to be able to make money from your bed. Your idea of a great day is going to be not having to physically do anything to make money. So when I start to talk about my brand and my business, like, yeah, I have, trainings, and yeah, I have digital resources that you can do. And yes, I'm gonna help you define and organize your brand and work on your pain points to do all these things. But at the end of the day, once you've done all these things, this is what you're going to be able to experience. Growing on social media or multiple platforms so you can touch people every day. Tapping into networks that have 3 billion people actively using them every day. Showing up confidently so when you get up on social media, it doesn't feel like work. Like, I don't feel like going live is work anymore. It's literally conversations with people that I enjoy talking to. I just happen to have a business that they need, but at the end of the day, I enjoy talking to them. And since I enjoy what I do and I'm showing up as this person, I'm going to make money regardless. Like, I don't have to work hard to make money. But if you're talking to people that are stuck and they're not actively looking for a change, they're not going to pull the trigger. If you're talking to people that are satisfied or content with the spot that they're in, aka if you got to convince them, like, I don't got to convince you that business is the way. Your people have to value the transformation. They got to value the transformation if they want to invest in it. And this could be, if you think about the last thing that you invested in, and this doesn't have to be like business related. Let's say the last thing you invested in was a nice dress. Let's say you wanted to buy a nice dress because you was going to dinner and you wanted to look good. You didn't invest in the trip to, let's say you go to, where's the place that y'all want to go? Where's somewhere you would love to go that you haven't been before? Where's the place? I want to go to the Seychelles. I think that's what it's called. I'm just trying to get to Africa, period. Okay. I feel like once I go over there, I ain't coming back. But that's neither here nor there. That's a conversation for another day. Okay. So you're not investing in the plane to get there. Like, even if you get the lay down seats, which are bomb, if you never flown business class overseas, I promise you ain't never gonna want to go back. But you're not investing in the transportation to get there. You're investing in the experience once you're there. So your business is the same. If you show up on social media and you're talking about all these special features and all this other stuff that's within your program or your product, and it's like people don't really care. Can you do what you said you was gonna do? How am I gonna feel once that happens? How long is it gonna take me to get there? Like, within my program, the first 4 weeks is all brand foundational work. So you can get your business on point to where it needs to be. It's less than 30 days. Get your business together in less than 30 days. And then the last 4 weeks is literally implementation, strategy, and coaching. So it's like all this information that you learned within the first 30 days is what's going to help you quantum leap your platform or your revenue or whatever in the next 4 weeks. And I'm going to be there to help you implement the strategy. Because there's one thing to learn information. That's one thing. But applying the information and pivoting as necessary is something entirely different. So when you think about, don't be the 90% of business owners. Be the 10%. Be the 10% that people are happy to, buy stuff from. They want to go places. They want the vibes. They want the energy. They want the results. Don't just, if you're a business owner and you're struggling with I don't understand why you're still struggling with this when this is here. If you're always leading with like sales and discounts and like, oh, if you don't have a lot of money, you're gonna attract people that don't have the money to do whatever it is that you have. If you don't want to be the 90%, you got to stop pain point marketing. You got to stop attracting people that want to stay in the same place and that are content. And you have to start crafting your content and your messaging in a way that speaks to the transformation that's going to take place, aka the solution. I have a wild ass child, but it's okay. Sometimes things are not together the way I want it to be, but it's okay. Because I speak to customers that feel where I'm coming from. So you got to speak to the right customers. You got to get in front of the right people. And then once you do that, then you can make money online. You can attract people that comes over and over to your things, regardless if they're free or if they're paid. And the best customers are loyal customers. You want people actively buying stuff from you all the time. You don't want to just like one and done people. So if you think about all the things that we talked about today, in creating your content funnel, you have to do it in a way that aligns with your brand so it's the right people. Okay? The brand awareness part. You have to do it in a way that aligns with your brand to attract the right people. When you start to build trust with them, you have to do it from a place of perspective. perspective and opinions, your opinion, not theirs. When you think about converting people, it's like, okay, I got this content that attracts the people. I got this content that builds a trust. Now I need to start thinking about how I'm going to be the solution and then convert them. So that's content strategies, really. Like, how do I speak to them in a way that positions me as the absolute solution and then converts them? And the way that I speak to them, I got to touch on different things, which you learn in target. Like everybody's target audience has different trigger points and trigger areas and different experiences that they want to unlock. So this is why the target audience is probably one of my favorite weeks out of the whole process, because we're literally breaking down the mindset part and the characteristic part. So when you talk to your audience and you create these messages and you want to take them through the funnel, you know, like, oh, if I speak to this, they're definitely going to convert. If I start a live or if I talk about this, they're definitely going to convert because this is what they want. Okay, so this is another screenshot, literally another screenshot. Over the last few years, I've been doing strategy calls and classes and like little mini programs and things like that. But you really have to ask yourself sometimes, like, based on the actions that I'm currently taking, am I in a position where I'm open to receive like social media engagement and, you know, social media traction? Based on what I'm currently doing right now, is it working? If it's not, then it's time to change the game. So I want to ask you, what does it feel like to be where you want to be? If you could put it into words and you were thriving in your industry, you were making consistent cash, you were hitting your goals, drop a word that describes what it feels like to be there. So once you implement everything within the brand clarity blueprint, and you learn, okay, this is how I need to show up in my content. These are the things that I need to say. You get the tools and the resources so you can apply it to any platform that you use. Then you can tap into ease. You can tap into freedom. Because at this point, you're not winging it no more. You're not slapping stuff up, wondering what's going to happen. When I look at people, other people in my industry, it's like I shout them out. I like congratulate them for doing the things that they're doing, you know. But I don't compare myself to them because I know I'm for my people. Like, I'm not for their people. And there's thousands of people in your industry, and I'm saying this from personal experience. If I look up the word brand photographer in the search bar in Instagram, I promise you, I'll probably scroll through 1,000. But the thing is, what's for me is for me, and I don't have to compete with nobody. And with your business and your industry, nobody else, like I said, nobody shares the same experiences that you have gone through. Nobody sees things the way that you see it. Nobody has this formula that works the way that you have it. You are your own boss, okay? You're your own CEO. Honestly, if you look at it like I'm creating my own industry, that's probably a better way to look at it versus being within an industry, because the goal is to stand out. Ain't no more worrying about, is it going to work, okay? Yes, it's going to work. Yes, it's going to work. When I post on social media, I don't be like, oh, if this doesn't get 1,000 likes, I'm going to be so upset, because I'm not posting for somebody to like my business. Like, I'm not posting for the likes of the comment, of course, or the actual thing. I'm posting to get people in my world, to get people within my programs or buying my services or engaging with me on live or coming to training. Like, that's the sign that it's working. Not likes, not views. Okay? So I want to know in the comment section, why did you sign up for this training today? I'm just curious. I want to know. Of course, I talk about branding. Of course, I talk about strategy, because the whole purpose of the blueprint is so you can know exactly what to post and how to post it to make money on social media. The whole purpose of the blueprint is so you can stop winging it. Okay? You can stop winging it. You can stop posting random stuff. You can stand out in your industry. You can position your business as the obvious option. And so you can see consistent activity, okay? Because if you need a strategy, once you implement the strategy and you put it in place, that's what gets consistent activity. That's what gets it. When you create content for your brand, your brand awareness stage. You're creating content to build trust with people. You're creating content to build the solution, and then you're creating content to get the result, which is a conversion. That's a strategy. It's not hard. It's not like this crazy thing with all these little networks. Like, this could be so simple. Building your brand on social media can be so simple as long as you decide, like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. Okay, my brand is the one that people are gonna come to. So based on what you've learned in this training, where do you feel like you need to focus attention? Think about your brand awareness, your trust content, your problem content, and your conversion content. Would you like a system that gave you the blueprint to figure out how to make it work? If the answer is yes. Would you like something where you follow it, you know, like, oh my gosh, I know my brand like the back of my hand. I know what I'm supposed to post like the back of my hand. Like, I don't got to worry about what to do. I don't have to worry about if something's going to make sense. The only thing you got to worry about is you're going to land on time. Okay. Because I definitely missed my flight back to Houston yesterday. That's my worries. Like, dang, I'm going to miss my flight. But as far as social media, I don't worry about social media. I don't worry about the algorithm. So when we think about people jumping into our world, literally saying they booked something, they just watched something was so helpful. They so excited that they joined the community. They're telling you about like all the things that, you know, you do and how you do it, and that you help them. At the end of the day, I know you are here, like, you built this business to help people change their life in one way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter what type of business that you have. You started it to solve a problem, because that's what we're in the business of solving problems. So when you tap into online social media and like create your own network, and you see that you're actually helping people, you're actually doing the thing that you set out to do, and you're making money, like, it's only going to push you to do more. The ideas and the dreams that you have right now are only going to expand. And then you'll have the space and the clarity to be like, okay, I can do this. I can make this happen. I can put 2 and 2 together. This is going to be easy. Like, all of that is possible once you start to create the brand that people like want to interact with. And literally what it does is help you shift from word of mouth sales. So if you got word of mouth customers, if you only make money when people either see you in person or have to talk to you about something, but you want to shift into making customers and creating revenue on social media that attracts people that always have the budget, okay? Because it's one thing to attract 1,000 people, but if nobody is here to pay you, then it's really, you know, we're not doing good. We want to attract people that are always, you know, excited to take the step, excited to get the thing. They're not feeling like guilt because, you know, they don't have it. They're not operating from a place of lack. They're operating from a place of prosperity. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I get to do this thing. I'm so happy I finally found a solution for this. I'm so happy that this person does this. I needed this so bad. Like, that's the energy that you want people to operate from. But if you're not positioning your brand in a way that speaks to those people, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You have to be intentional about the content that you create. You don't got to be pulling out your phone and doing this and doing that just because social media told you that it was happening. Every time a new trend pops up, you don't got to jump on trends if you don't want to. I'm not a trendy person. I'm not a trendy woman, okay? I live in my own world. I do my own thing. I flow to the beat of my own drum, and I make money on social media, mostly from my bed in pajamas, if I'm just being quite honest. The only time I dress up like this is if I'm going out the house. But in the house, baby, we got silk robes on and we're chilling. So within the brand clarity blueprint, of course, we're going to create powerful ass content, because how can I not? Like, I'm obsessed with content creation at this point. I'm a whole photographer. I've gained so much clarity and mastered visuals in so many different ways. Honestly, we're here to grow on social media. I love being in spaces where there's a lot of people. So when we walk through your target audience and walk through your brand values and walk through how you want to show up online, how you want to be seen. So another question. Would you be happy if you surpassed your biggest month because you were consistent and intentional? And the reason why I ask this is because your biggest month, your best month, is because before I started taking social media seriously, like I said, I was hitting like $1,000 here, $2,000 here. You know, it was coming in here and there. But when I got when I got consistent and intentional, I literally crossed $10,000 in 33 days. That had never happened before at that time. And that was from the hood. Like, that was from an apartment that looked terrible. That was from when I was stressed out because my child was hollering every 2 seconds. But I made a decision and then I made it happen. Okay? And for those that don't know, this is definitely from Waiting to Exhale. It's one of my favorite movies because I'm an old soul, for real, in real life. So you can start stepping in the right direction, you know, using your content to grow your brands, creating your content funnel, building out visuals that feel authentic to you, that have that vibe, because y'all know I love a good vibe. If you're new here, for the people that are new here, you're not as aware unless you binge my content within the last like couple of days. But I'm definitely a vibey content. Like, I want people to feel an emotion. I want people to feel like, damn, when they see something of mine. And I do it from my phone. I'm not doing a whole bunch of tricks and tips and all of that. I'm doing it from my phone, honey. And now, since you understand your brand, you'll know how to use the ideas. It won't just be like, oh, post, you know, how you impact your audience. It won't be something general like that. It'll be like, oh, I have this idea. So now, why is this like this? Oh, I have this idea. So now I can do XYZ thing. Oh, I have this content idea. So now I can show up in this way. So the thing is, with your brand is the foundation to your success at the end of the day. It don't matter what you're doing, what industry you're in, what platform you choose to be on. And when you think about major brands, you remember the brand, not necessarily the different strategies that they do. So when we create a content funnel, the content funnel is a way to bring people in that connect with your business, like over and over and over. You're bringing people into your world, and you know that you're leading them to something, which is the strategy. The strategy is to bring the people in, which is your brand awareness content. Build trust with them, because people are not going to spend money with you or believe in what you have to offer unless you build trust with them. If you're just building trust, but you don't necessarily have anything to offer, like they don't understand the solution that they're going to get, they're not going to convert. But then when it comes to the conversations that you have for the awareness, the trust, and the problem are completely different from the conversations that you have to convert people, because you have to understand how people react to things. You have to understand what they desire. You have to understand their obligations or the things that keep them saying no. So the strategy is put in place when you infuse this into your content. That way it's always leading people down the funnel. And no matter what time of year it is, what you're launching or what you're offering, you know, when you look back at the month scope, regardless of if you plan your content a week in advance, 30 days in advance, a quarter in advance, which is kind of crazy, but regardless of how you plan your content, you know, okay, I know I got content that's going to bring people into my world. I know I'm going to tell them and talk to them and speak to them at different stages that they're in. And I know I'm going to convert them. I don't got to worry about like, oh, do I have content that's going to sell today? It's already done. It's already literally mapped out in the content that you are creating from the jump. So you can get people actually buying stuff offline. You don't got to have face-to-face conversations with people. You don't got to jump on sales calls if you don't want to. You don't have to explain a bunch of stuff. They're like, oh, I have this, you know, I have this thing. I'm really looking to fix this thing. Oh, she does this. Oh, I see her thriving and living in all this bomb energy that she's operating in. I have a 2-year-old. Listen, doing anything with a toddler requires organization. Like, you have to be organized. And especially when you are online and there's so much information always being pushed out, the only way that you can stay on track sometimes is if you have a guideline, you got a framework to follow. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you need to do, you know, everything that everybody else is doing. When you have your foundational brand stuff together, it's so much easier to apply it to wherever you want to put it in, like whatever you want to put it to, The only thing that ever changes is your product that you're offering. So as you grow your business, your brand will stay the same, or the foundation of your brand will stay the same, but the messaging around what you offer is going to be different. And we'll talk about that within our session, because certain things apply to certain people depending on the stage that they're in, as far as the solution that they're looking for. Especially if you're like in a coaching industry, you know, there's levels. There's levels to it. So you might have a digital product that solves one thing, but you might have a course that solves something else, and then one-on-one coaching that solves something else. So you're not going to speak to the one-on-one person the same way you speak to somebody that just needs to buy something that's like $40. I feel like you are in total control of your reality at all times. And when you shift your mindset from like, woe is me, or things are happening to me, and you shift it to this is happening for me, that's when things change. That's when the door opens up. Like, I'm a human just like everybody else. I go through shit just like everybody else. Like, you know, there are things that happen in life, but the things that are happening in life never affect how I show up on social media. And I also don't tell social media all of my business. Like some of my clients, they be like, well, I don't want to tell people that. And it's like, girl, you control what's happening online. Like, it's your world at the end of the day. It's your world. People are just in it. Like the mood of your brand feeling like something, the conversations that you're able to have. Like people signing up for stuff that don't even know you, for all the people that are new here. It's all because of how you show up and what you choose to do with that information. When I tell y'all I'm dead set and determined on growing my business, like dead set and determined, nobody or nothing could tell me this is not going to happen the way that I see it happening. And when I put how I feel into my brand, I attract people that also feel like this, which is why I say you gotta have an opinion. You gotta have an opinion. I'm excited to work with you. I know you've been around for a hot minute. Like there are certain customers and certain people that are in my audience that I know I've seen them in multiple classes. Like I've seen them doing things. I see them connecting. I see them talking and sending messages and sharing with me like the different things that they have going on. Your story literally will impact so many people when you start to tell it. For anybody that is on this, for anybody that's watching the replay, there is so much power in your story because it's literally the thing that inspires people for change, okay? It inspires people for change. And within a blueprint, we talk about different brand stories to work on based on what you're selling and what you want to share. But your story is going to do more selling for you than, oh, this is available. If you sound like a commercial, if you sound like a car salesman, if you read your caption back and you're like, damn, this does not sound like me. If you get kind of cringy reading it, I want you to start reading them out loud. If they do not sound like you, do not post it. You're doing more harm than good. You need to infuse your personality and your purpose within your brand and your content. That's the real key. That's the real strategy, okay? If you don't do nothing else moving forward from today, I need you to infuse your personality and your purpose within your content. Now, the replay for this class will be available for 24 hours. If you want to rewatch it, you're more than welcome. I will see you on social because, I'll be going live. I'll be posting. Your girl is real active on there, clearly for a reason. And I will see you on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you catch me. So, y'all, I wish you nothing but abundance and prosperity in whatever you do. So, all the prosperity to you. Y'all have a beautiful day. Bye. Bye. Not a damn. See, y'all, I'm not a techie person. Dang on. Mouse always not working. But it's okay. You can be a techie person and still thrive on social media. Not be a techie person and thrive on social media. But okay, darling. See you later. Bye.